Please welcome Executive Vice President, Global SMB Salesforce, Adam Alfano, and Senior Vice President, Sales, Salesforce, Whitney Hillier.
All right. Good afternoon, Whit. We're back.
We're back, year two.
All right, the most exciting hour of Dreamforce, right? How you feeling? How you feeling this afternoon?
Oh my gosh, it's so great to be back with this crew. Thank you guys all for being here.
Yeah, and a better time slot. Last year we were 9 a.m. after the conference.
We had a much bigger drop-off last year.
This.
No.
Here we are. We've got a big stage. We got a great time, and this hour is going to be very exciting because this is our scale and growth customers, right? The contingency that's going to drive innovation forward. But Whitney, we came through a great first day at Dreamforce. We had a lively keynote from Mark and team. We had a ton of customer interactions. What stood out to you from day one?
The pace of innovation that we saw yesterday is just incredible, both from Salesforce and from our customers. The use cases that we see from our customers with AI and the challenges that they're solving, it's just incredible. Work is truly changing right before our eyes.
You could feel a boundless opportunity and a pace of innovation. I thought the Agentforce vibes was particularly exciting.
You love vibe coding.
Vibe coding our way through building agents. I'm a big fan of Cursor and Lovable, and now we're going to do that with Agentforce. But today's all about taking what you saw yesterday and translating it to our scale businesses. We're thrilled to do it. You're going to see demos. We're going to hear from some great customers and thought leaders, but we got to do something first, right, Whitney?
Yep. We've got to start with a huge thank you to our customers, our employees, and our partners.
We're thrilled to be back with you. And it's a lot to come out here and spend a week. It's a busy week. It's exciting. It's exhausting. It means the world to us that you're taking the time. We're going to make great use of it. And Whitney, it's an incredibly important time to be coming together with our great SMB and growth customers because there's a lot going on. I mean, a ton. We've got geopolitical changes, we have cost profile changes, inflation, tariffs, there's new competitors, AI native competitors entering every industry and every market and totally transforming the landscape. And then the one constant, customer expectations keep growing, right? Your customers want real-time, personalized service. The device should tell someone when it needs servicing. No one wants to wait on hold for a call center. But it's not really all about personalization. It's also about speed and efficiency. And that's causing our small and medium business customers to really take on some new tools to grow, isn't it?
Yeah, our customers are leaning into these challenges. They're embracing AI and emerging technologies to help them grow faster and stay ahead of their competition. And oftentimes they're taking on enterprise level competition. It's really incredible. And they're consolidating, they're simplifying, they're unifying their data so that they can grow exponentially. And they're oftentimes having to do all of this without the benefit of adding headcount.
Yeah, and you saw in the Agentforce keynote yesterday the incredible opportunity that all of you have to grow and scale. These SMB and scale businesses are the bedrock of every economy, and now they can punch up above their weight and operate and look and feel and execute a lot bigger with AI tools and agents, but it's not always easy. We've got a lot of customers that use DIY AI tools, and they have the best of intentions, and these tools often create data spillage and security issues and costs that run away, and they become inflexible, and you have to change the models. And look, I think we can do better. Right? I think we have a new vision for all of the scale companies in the room.
Yeah, we do. Our vision is to empower SMBs and startups to grow faster with a deeply unified platform that scales with them. And scaling with them is so important because these small and medium businesses, they don't want to spend their time or their money integrating technologies that they're going to grow out of in 2 or 3 years. And that platform that is going to grow and scale with them, that's Agentforce 360.
Yeah, we know this firsthand. We use Agentforce 360 every day. We help our customers, and it's incredibly powerful. This is the platform, this is the engine that's going to allow agents to augment your human workers to do incredible things. And this is for all of you, whether you're just getting started with us and you're buying Sales Cloud or Starter, or you're using Service, or you're using Slack to power your collaboration. And also for those with more sophisticated rollouts doing operational execution, agents are going to live in the same place your humans are doing work, secured with data context from our metadata platform, creating an incredibly easy, safe, and effective way to deploy this technology. And Whitney, it's the platform and it's every app, right? It's every app. So now our Sales Cloud apps, our commerce experience, field service and getting the right tech to the right place, Slack collaboration, it's all agent first. And so agents are going to make humans way more efficient, take on autonomous work, and we're going to get to have more fun, grow more deals, execute, serve better. It's exciting.
Well, it's sure changed the way I've worked every day. I mean, we're using all of this.
Well, I think that's an incredible segue to two gentlemen who have changed the way a lot of people work. And too many of you know, of course, Marcus Lemonis, the CEO of Camping World, exec chair of Bed Bath & Beyond, the Fixer. We know him as the Fixer. And then Kyle.
Come on up, guys.
A guy I really admire, the Scaler. He has a great podcast, CRO of Owner.
Welcome, guys.
And we're going to go deeper on some of these concepts. Gentlemen, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, well, let's get into it a little bit.
Before we get started, I'd like you to work on your energy.
Okay, I'm trying, man.
Energy's very low.
I'm really trying to sell this thing, okay? We're off and running. So, Marcus.
Yes.
You know, you are seeing SMBs transform before your eyes, right? There's a changing landscape happening. There's tons of opportunities, but there's a lot of unique challenges. What are you seeing when you interact with small and medium businesses every day?
Well, I think there's two things. You know, my relationship with your company is really built on two particular disciplines. One, can we help the small business owner understand their business better? And if you don't understand your business, you don't know really what to interact with next. Secondly, how simple can we make the use of the products and services that we have digestible for people? And so whether you're running a really small business of 5 or 6 people, or you're scaling to 18, 20, 50, 100, 200, we really want to make sure that we're providing simple and digestible tools that help me change my P&L.
And you're helping these companies flex up and look a lot bigger and perform a lot bigger than maybe what they're doing when you meet them, right?
Well, we're trying to help them do it, but we're trying to help them do it efficiently.
Exactly.
And so for every business that's out there, there's a finite amount of capital and a finite amount of resources. And so you need to augment a lot of that with technology that's going to make it bigger. But it has to be technology that you can understand and that you can use.
Well, that's an incredible segue. I mean, you're using AI in every corner of your business. We've had lengthy discussions about it, both publicly and privately, right? Tell us a little bit about that and how AI is changing your employees' profile, the way you're working, how that's gone for Owner.
So we have AI everywhere, from how we build product internally with co-pilots to the AI that is in our products. But on the go-to-market side, we now have 8 production use cases of AI that are working at a significant scale, all the way from identifying who to target, the highest propensity customers that we want to spend time on, to CRM enrichment and fill, AI sales coaching, post-sales nurture. And so the strategic approach has been to first nail the data foundations. Nothing AI will work unless you have incredible first-party and third-party data foundations, something that Agentforce and Salesforce, I think, is uniquely capable of doing. Then once you have your data foundations in the right place, now we can think about fun, interesting use cases. And for us, it was all about making the reps more efficient, because we're in a pretty scary time for many frontline employees. And to win their hearts and minds and to make sure that we are able to change at the pace we want to change, it was really important that we focused on use cases that improved the life and the productivity of each individual sales rep. And so we have a bunch going on there, which we can unpack.
Amazing.
I have to just tell you, and I think I disclosed this to you in the back, I invested in their business 5.5 years ago. So I felt like I got like a little board session right here of how the money's being.
That's right. There you go. You're feeling better about it.
I feel a lot better than I did before I got here.
Yeah. Well, that's a great segue back to you. I mean, anybody that's watched The Fixer on Fox knows your 3 Ps, like people, process, and product. Yeah. How does technology fit into that when you think about really deploying capital to solve those problems?
Well, I think technology, we could start with the first one. It really is about what can we do for the people that work for us to educate them, to give them the information, to give them the tools, not to replace them. And I want to be really crystal clear about that. The one thing that both myself and I know Adam as well is we're not proposing that any of these things are to wipe out people, but it's to increase their velocity, increase their aptitude, increase their ability to access resources and make them a lot better. From a process standpoint, it's really about understanding where the opportunities are in the business. And when we cut down through all the noise, how do we grow our business and make more money? And what could the process attributes be to do that? And then on the product side, it's very clear. We need to make sure that we have a relevant product that we're delivering to people all the time. And we're using Agentforce to help us understand, is the product relevant? Is it working or not working?
So back to you, Kyle. Now, these AI tools are exciting. You're augmenting your humans. They're doing even bigger and better things. If there's a company out in the audience that's just getting started or watching online, what's some of the foundational elements to getting AI right and really driving productive outcomes?
So as I mentioned, it's the data foundations. First and foremost, you got to start there. But I'll answer this question slightly differently because it's not really about the technology in many ways. What especially small companies, your unique advantage is the ability to move quicker than the established, much bigger incumbents. And so we all have the opportunity to adopt AI much more deeply, much quicker than many of the big companies that we compete with. And so how do you do it? Well, it's got to be through great change management. And it's something that I don't hear talked about all that much in these settings, but having a structured approach to how you deploy change to the organization, how do you engage your employee in the change to be able to rapidly iterate without causing where most of us end up feeling in just the chaos. Tool change, business process change, and people get overwhelmed and then paralyzed by it. And so I think the unique advantage that many of you have in this room in the scale category is how do we change faster? How do we engage the frontline employee in this process? How do we win their hearts and minds so that we can lean in as an organization? And we can unpack change management in a bunch of detail, but I would say that is the secret sauce for us having such robust implementations is we can just move at a pace that's quite unique.
Such an advantage to everyone in this room and folks watching, because there's no doubt AI is going to create an infinitely bigger number of SMB companies, and they're going to punch up to revenue quadrants that we haven't seen SMBs do with the power of these AI tools. It's incredible.
But it levels the playing field.
Exactly.
And that for me is, I think, the big thing. 10 years ago, if you were a smaller business on your way to being a bigger business, the inertia that it took to get there was a lot harder. And the resources that you didn't have competing with people that had a lot more made it difficult. And that's why you saw failure rate. If you look at what I really believe AI can do, it can improve the success rate of small businesses, which is a big deal.
Yeah, incredible. All right, last question, because we're getting a little short on time. You both advise a ton of small companies. What's your favorite go-to move when you see a company get a little bit stuck or start plateauing?
Let him go first.
That's not a 22-second question.
We'll give you a minute.
It really depends on what you think the root cause problem is. And so I would zoom out and try to think through what I like to use as the opportunity solution tree. You can use a driver tree, but trying to get to root cause of whatever problem might be product, market, go-to-market, your sales motion. But instead of solving symptoms, oh, my reps aren't making enough calls, my win rate is bad at this stage, trying to creep up that driver tree, try to creep up that all the way to root cause, use that 5 whys framework to try to get to the heart of what's actually broken, and solve cause and not symptom, and you'll have a lot of success trying to turn the tide.
Marcus, anything down?
Mine is improving the foundation with education and having everybody recognize what their superpower is and where their opportunity is, and to really hone in on forcing them to fix what they don't do right themselves.
Amazing. Well, look, everyone give Marcus and Kyle a big round of applause. So grateful, a true privilege. Some incredible advice as you scale. And now it's my absolute pleasure to turn it over to the man himself, Giovanni Crispino, our EVP of SMB, EMEA. Giovanni, I know you'll bring the energy. Take it away, man.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Adam. Fantastic to hear from Marcus and Kyle. Really, resonate a lot for SMB, resonate for many of us. So I'm going to walk you through basically what is top of mind for SMB today. 2 things clearly stand out. Number 1, acquiring new customer, right? We need this new customer to grow our revenue. Number 2, improving customer experience. Make sure they are to serve them as never before. But what's happened? Time is limited, resources are limited, hard to do a scale of those things. So the tools, now we're going to deep dive a little bit on the tools. The tools that SMB company use are critical to success. And those tools are the ones that are going to help those companies really embracing this new agentic revolution. The future is not the future anymore. The future really is now. It's happening today. You have seen already yesterday, today, tomorrow. You are talking already to other customers. You're going to see some of them more here. These companies are leaning in. They are leaning in where really they're empowering their humans, their employees, right, with the right tools, technology, to unlock the productivity, the efficiency. It's very much what Marcus and Kyle were saying before. So what's happened? Now, this is becoming, therefore, an agentic enterprise. But what is an agentic enterprise? Agentic enterprise is any company, right, big or small, leaning in this digital labor revolution. So they are ready now to really embrace and go together with Salesforce, and we are here to help you. We are here because we are learning. We are customer zero. We are here to help you with the right tools. And one of those tools, we're going to look now together in the next few minutes, the funnel, Agentforce marketing, Agentforce sales, Agentforce service, and we are going to bring you along this journey. So for Agentforce marketing, the way that you're going to target your prospect, the way that you're going to get the right insights, the way that you're going to make sure that these companies are targeted and then provide the right leads to your salespeople, this is the way we're going to look at it. But enough to hear from me, right? This accent, probably there is not the right words even appearing on the top. But let me call on stage Patty that is going to bring us along. Round of applause for Patty, and he's going to show us live a demo, right? Patty.
Thank you, Gio.
Let's go, Patty.
All right. Are you ready to see this live?
Woo!
Let's hear it. All right. Before we jump in, I have to introduce my demo drivers. Captivating Chloe, who just ran the Chicago Marathon last week. And look at her smiling. It's amazing. And Sensational Shri. Woo! All right. So let me tee this up. So I'm a marketer. I'm going to put on my marketing hat. And I work for Alpine Nutrition. And Alpine Nutrition is a health food wholesaler. And my boss has asked me to go with some pretty aggressive goals. I'm going to be going after fitness centers. Now, in the past, it would be daunting for me. I have manual processes, generic campaigns, and I'm very worried about executing quickly. But with Agentforce, I have a digital marketer right by my side, helping me reduce the campaign time in half. So let's go, Chloe. All right, here we are in the campaign brief. This is where it all starts. We indicate the segment we're going after, the channel in which we're communicating. In this case, it's SMS and marketing. And here, when the brief renders, I can see the outline of the campaign. This is where it starts. And I can look at the description, the target audience, and we're ready to go. So next, I'm going to ask my agent to go ahead and invoke an entire campaign flow. And what we see here is we're going to build the segment, and we're even going to create the copy for the SMS and email. And think about the time saving on this. Wow, pretty impactful. So after I create this campaign, I'm going to go look at the copy. I want to make sure it's on brand and on point. So here I can review the copy. It looks good, but I'd like to change the subject line. We need it to be more impactful. I want to optimize those click-throughs. So I'm going to ask my agent, suggest an alternative subject line. And with one click, it does that. All right, so next I'm going to go in and see how the campaign is doing. We're going to fast forward a few weeks. We have prospects coming in. AI tells us just how great that campaign is performing. And I can, right within the campaign intelligence screen, I can alert my CRO of how the campaign is doing. And my CRO happens to be at some big conference here in San Francisco. Hello, I think she's in the back. And I'm going to immediately notify her within Slack. It's within her flow of work, so she can start turning the engagements into conversations. So that is Agentforce marketing. With that, I'm going to turn it back to Gio.
Yeah, amazing, Patty. So, but Patty, no. Wait, stay with me. Because we have seen now the marketing, right? We have seen how they generate this campaign, those leads. But now, let's move straight away into sales, right?
Let's get to it.
That's the way to do it. Come on, let's do it and go for it.
Okay, so we're going to jump right into sales. So we see in sales, the leads piling up. That campaign is performing exceptional. And I see that I have Agentforce sales to help me resolve all these leads. I don't want them to pile up. I want to work every single lead. So here I am in the lead nurture agent. And this is where I create and craft personalized messages to my prospects. And I can even book meetings. So my account executive doesn't have to lift a finger. The agent does the work for he or she. Okay, so now I'm a salesperson and I'm going to go into the new sales workspace. And this is where I can see in the upper right-hand corner the work that the agent is doing with me and for me. Here I can see all the meetings that they actually booked, call summaries, opportunity updates, and I can basically see how well I'm performing with the agent. But what happens is I see down below, there's a next step for me. I have an important meeting that agent is booked, and it's with Summit Fitness. So normally I'd be worried about getting prepared for that meeting, spending a lot of manual efforts, but I have an account plan that is ready-made that can help me immediately look at the current position of the account. I can look at the competitive landscape. I have all the information at my fingertips to get on that call and have an incredible conversation. All right, so we are ready to get on the call. I, as the account executive, I'm going to be focused in the call. I'm going to be building trust with my client. And meanwhile, in the background, the agent is analyzing and summarizing and even suggesting immediate next steps for me. And that's me in the center there. I've obviously gotten a bit of a haircut. But anyhow, I can go back and make sure that conversation is optimized for my next step. All right, so after the call, I am going to have my agent update the status for me. My agent is going to be updating it to negotiation stage. So here I can see in my pipeline inspection view, I'm now a sales manager, and I am looking at all the work the agents are doing for my sales organization. And here I can see even suggested next steps. The agents are updating the opportunities. They're telling me what to do next. So imagine what that does to my productivity as an account executive. Incredible. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do next. Now we're going to click on Summit Fitness. That is that top account I just had the conversation with. And guess what, Gio? My sales rep is saying it's going to close in October, the end of October, but I want to move it in a little bit. Imagine that, right? All right, so I'm going to look at the opportunity and suggest a huddle because I want to get this deal to the finish line. So here we do a huddle and look at what I can do right within the sales application. I can send a Slack to the entire account team channel and they can be alerted instantaneously. So I'm not wasting time. I'm getting on the phone with my account team and getting revenue in. So after that account, deal review happens, I am ready to see this deal through. The deal closes and we are immediately notifying the entire account team to recognize them. There's a status update in the sales app that triggers a Slack agent. So everyone's notified and it even suggests next steps. So I can start onboarding that client flawlessly.
Amazing.
Back to you, Gio.
Amazing, amazing, Patty. So we have seen those leads, right? We've seen those leads warm, targeted with insights. Now we have seen the salespeople finally can go back and focus on building the relationship, right? No more manual task, the recording there, all the next steps ready for them. So really all the efficiency bring back to the humans they can do. Now, the last part, which is the one that the customer at the center.
You got to keep them happy.
Keep them happy.
Yep.
and the tool, Agentforce 360, the full platform, that can cover the Agentforce service. So what are we going to do for them?
We are going to operate fast, but with quality. So we know clients, if they're getting resolved slow and the process is taking a lot of time, it could cost customers at my organization. So we know that we basically need to process the sales stuff quickly. And we do that through the omni-channel routing system. So here we're going to see with Agentforce service, I spend time solving versus searching. So I am within the omni-channel routing system. And here you see the agent and the customer are having a conversation. In the center of the screen, you see that conversation. And with the deeply unified platform that Whitney mentioned in our vision, this whole thing comes to life. On the left-hand side, we see Debbie, our client, and we see sales information, marketing information, even past service cases. So I have an entire view of the client. On the right-hand side, I see Agentforce service working for me. Here I have the entire conversation summarized. Normally, when you're looking at chats, you would have to scroll up and down and try to understand what the gist of the conversation is. With Agentforce service, I get the right context of the question, and it's super relevant. Okay. So now what are we going to do, Chloe? We are going to service this client. I have an Agentforce service agent built, and it is going to go through and it is going to process all the steps within the service plan. And I'm going to be able to look at it step by step. And I want you to stop and think for a minute. The service agent is doing all this busy work for me, and I am focused on the higher complex problems. So we really see we're elevating both the agent and the employee. So in this example, I have a guardrail. So we can tell the agents what to do, but we can also tell the agents what not to do. And in this case, my promo code is so large that I need a manager to come in and approve this. So the manager's going to go in and he's going to go approve this, and the issue is resolved. Debbie's happy, the agent's happy, everyone's happy, Gio's happy. Okay, so next we're going to go in and look at the service intelligence dashboard. And this is where I'm a service manager and I am looking at how the agents are doing for me. And it's so important. Like, we can move fast, but we have to move with quality as well. It's so important to be thinking about the customer experience. So here I can see all the steps that are occurring, and I can jump in and monitor things if I need to. Again, this is agents and humans working together. All right, so I also want to see how my service department is doing overall. So I'm going to be able to look side by side at a variety of service metrics that matter to me. So here I see CSAT, Net Promoter Score, and I see on the left, total escalations are rising. I got to get in front of that. I don't want that to snowball. So what I can do right from here, again, Slack integration, I can notify all of the stakeholders that I need to do an immediate swarm for this issue, and I'm going to solve it right away. That is Agentforce service.
Amazing. Applause for Patty. Fantastic. Thank you for bringing us all along. So we're seeing the funnel, hybrid customized personalization from our customers, Slack unified consoles to provide that for our internal humans. But now let me call on stage fantastic Matteo Vanotti. Thank you, Patty. Round of applause for solution engineer. Matteo, come on stage. This customer is going to tell us really what's happening today, Matteo. So Matteo, welcome once again. Tell a little bit about yourself, about XFAR.
For sure. Thank you, Giovanni. Hi, everyone. It's Matteo Vanotti, founder of X-Farm, and first time in Dreamforce. Opportunity to be additionally a speaker. Thank you. And additionally, because I told to you in the backstage, when I started the company 7 years ago, the first software that I installed was Slack. Even before email, Slack was there. And since that day, we build all data, process, sales support, and everything in Slack. Yeah. Where we operate in agriculture. So quite a tough business, I can say, as I grew up in a farm. And it's an industry that is under stress. You know, as also in the Mark keynote of yesterday, we saw the video about climate event, how they are changing. We spoke about the geopolitical change around the world. And additionally, you know, we need to feed more people in future with the same surface. So agriculture and farmers are under stress. So our goal in X-Farm is to make them more efficient, thanks to the use of technology and a digital platform. So that is our goal. Let me give you a couple of examples to visualize how we can help another industry using SU, data, and technology. You can imagine to be a farmer, you have many fields, and you need to know which field to irrigate, when, and how much. You know, it's tough to understand in a big farm. So we are leveraging data from satellite, from fin sensor, and we're able to say to the farmers through an app in which field to go, when, and how much water. That creates a lot of saving, so more sustainability, and create more efficiency into farming. Another example is on the tractor. You know, tractor like big IoT moving on the field, collecting tons of data and crossing the information from satellite. We're able to say to the tractor through an app exactly in which part of the field put more fertilizer and which part of the field put less fertilizer. Yeah. So that is a way to create efficiency on the planet, on farming, on the food industry, thanks to use of data.
Amazing. Matteo, and you've been with Salesforce for a while. You started with Slack. But what was the life before the agents that you launched at X-Farm? What were the biggest challenges?
But one of the largest farmers is, you know, managing the farmers. We have more than 500,000 farmers with us, all around the world.
Wow.
Spain, Poland, UK, Chile, Peru, everywhere. So you can imagine that we need to support them. And we do that through a chat, a support. Clearly, the key point was to have an agent there. So it was impossible to manage manually because we need to be 24/7. We need to be multi-language. We need to know that farmers not always speak English. They speak the local language. So having an agent multi-language 24/7, the first level of support is managed by the agent. Then we can then having our team to support lately, but that was a key change in our process, in our way to manage our client.
Very good. So basically, you help your customer, you help your employees, right? So they found a way to use agents to be more efficient, more productive as well in their jobs. What's the future for X-Farm? Where are you thinking? You've been here, first Dreamforce, first time here, but you have seen it with Andy. I mean, I've seen you, I've seen your team, very excited, talking to Slack, talking to Agentforce, like going everywhere. Now, what's happening inside of you for the moment? You know, what do you think right now? What do you think for the future?
Something that we did recently, and then I tell you about the future. Something that we also added in the customer support. I take this example is that we moved to Brazil 3 years ago. You know, huge country, many farmers. And through a survey and also with our data, 98% of the farmers dialogue with technology through WhatsApp. So we had to integrate Slack, WhatsApp, and agent, the full flow. So to be able to be even ready for that market, otherwise it was not possible. And additionally also because we saw that if we are not able to answer in the first 10 seconds to the farmers, then we lost the opportunity. You know, it just simply went out. Because they're just using mobile phone. There is no PC, no tablet, mostly is the mobile. About the future, so we saw also many news here on these days. So for sure we will work on the Slack bot. We need to be more efficient, even organize our lead, our material, mostly because we are moving to be also in Asia, in India. So to launch soon our solution there, where numbers are larger. So we need to be more faster on the organization. And the second element is Tableau that we have already. But we want to integrate Tableau into Slack, also to have KPI, so know where we are, where are the leads, in which region, so to be faster also on the sales side. So there are the two key topics where we want to work.
Fantastic, Matteo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Round of applause for Matteo for being here. You've been amazing.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you once again.
Thank you, guys.
Now, let me call on stage fantastic Whitney, where he's going to bring now along the data cloud. So he's going to tell us all about this data that lives in Agentforce 360. Whitney, After you. Take us away.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Gio, and thank you, Matteo, for sharing your story with us. Now we're going to talk a little bit about what's powering all this, and it all comes down to one word, and that word is data. Good AI needs good data. And just like your body or your car, you are only going to get out what you put in. And good data doesn't just fuel AI, it actually elevates it. But we know that data can be incredibly challenging for small businesses. As you've grown, you've picked up different technologies. Your marketing team wanted this one. Your customer success team just had to have this one. Finance is in the corner doing whatever finance does in the corner. And before you know it, you've put together this Frankenstein tech stack monster. In fact, most SMBs have over 7 disparate systems that don't speak to each other. And the result of that is siloed and inconsistent data. And your team is having to jump between all of these different tools, stitching the data together in spreadsheets so that you can have a holistic view of your business. And let's be real, that's just not going to work. So how do we fix this, right? You have to prioritize setting up a solid data foundation. And that means unifying and activating your data, because every interaction, every conversation, every click is fuel for your agentic enterprise. Whether that's an FAQ or a product review on your website, a service inquiry or email campaign results, every piece of data matters. And when all this data comes together, it's not just about being able to better automate tasks. It's about building a smarter 360 view of your customer. It's about fueling your agents to do better work. And it's about being able to work faster and smarter. And this is where Data 360, formerly known as Data Cloud, it would not be a Dreamforce if we didn't decide to do some name changes, really, really shines. And I want to be clear on this. Data 360 is not just another data warehouse. It works with your data warehouses and any other third-party business apps to bring all of your data together with little or no code. No duplication, no moving things around, no copying and pasting. And because it's built natively on Salesforce, it allows you to bring all of this data together into a single model that you can activate. Let me say that again. You can activate it across all your Salesforce apps, across all your channels, and across all your teams. Data 360 was designed to complement the systems that you already have in place while unlocking the full value of Salesforce. Imagine a world where you can activate your data to adjust marketing campaigns in real time based on what's actually happening on the service side of your business. So your customers are now getting messages, again, in real time, reflecting the experience that they're actually having versus generic email campaigns. Now, I know this all sounds way too good to be true, or it must be really hard. So I'm going to invite Patty up one last time to show us how easy it is to get started building this data foundation today.
All right, Whitney. So Data 360 is the foundation for Agentforce. You saw earlier the entire customer journey agentified. And this is all possible with connected data in your CRM. So let me go under the hood for you and show you where all this magic happens. We can connect data from anywhere in any format. And in this example, I'm Alpine, and I have a lot of my data in Snowflake. So here you're able to see where that data, that Snowflake data, is connected. And the beauty of Snowflake is that it is a zero-copy integration partner of ours. So that means no moving, no duplicating data, and no additional expenses. But we also have, for you muleys out there, we have over 200 MuleSoft connectors. And for those of you with multiple Salesforce orgs, we can connect that data. We can pull in spreadsheets and data from other data sources. But we know Not all that data is in those tidied, structured formats. We have unstructured data at Alpine, like PDFs, like website data. So here in the data library, I can simply upload my PDF, and this is on that policy promo code information. And now my agent has the entire context to work accurately for me. Okay, so now we're going to get to the really fun stuff. We talked about a lot of innovation with this agent builder yesterday in the keynote. Here's where an agent comes to life. So here I am going to indicate with topics what the agent is going to do. With actions, I'm going to indicate what tasks the agent is going to perform. And here I can see, in this example, we're looking at an employee agent for Alpine who handles those promo policy issues we saw when we were working that service issue. And we can see that this agent is going to be working for me with all the context so I can focus in on higher value items. So now, Chloe, let's test this agent. Let's ask it a question and see how we're doing here. So when we ask the agent a question, I pull in the right data, go through the right steps, and here I can review and tweak my agent if it's not operating as I intended it to. But in this example, it is exactly how I want, so I want to activate it and get it working for the Alpine employees. All right. So here we see Data 360 at work. Okay, next I'm going to talk about summarizing this. So Data 360 unlocks and activates data. It creates powerful agents so your employees can focus on the higher value growth items and your agents can focus on those mundane tasks. That's Data 360. All right, so now for the really fun part, I am very privileged to introduce a client and an esteemed healthcare provider. And it especially means a lot to me because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I am a 9-year thriver survivor. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm very grateful to bring to the stage founder and CEO of Mimit, Dr. Chopra.
Hi, Dr. Chopra. Thank you for joining us. All right. Well, you guys are like the poster child for Agent 360, and you've been on this journey with us for a while. Take us through your journey a little bit. Like, how did you get started? Talk a little bit about how you've added things along the way and optimized.
So I'll go back, and I was 17 and a half years old. I got into med school. And by 34, I'd reached the pinnacle of my career. I was an academic professor, a chairman of a department. I'd climbed the ladder of success, but it was leading against the wrong wall. So I got down. I started my own. I actually remember watching Marcus's show, Profit. And to that, I was trying to, I got to do this better. It was not patient-centered. Patients struggled with everything else. So along the way, I said, I got to reinvent myself. I got to be patient-centered. I got to be connected with them. I got to do this better, faster, cheaper. And who are patients? All of us. Before we are born, after we're dead, we can't give yourself birth. You can't bury yourself. So in this transformation journey, I said, how do I do this? And I realized we feel before we think, So my motto became from meditation to AI, and I needed to get this going. So the first thing was patient centricity. And I found that Salesforce was so customer obsessed, I'm patient obsessed, made logical sense. Value driven. If you're not kind, you can't care. If you don't care, you're not supposed to be in healthcare. And I found that Salesforce had trust as its core. It was logical. Third was to do good. That's what we do as humanity. See, technology, which all this AI, without humanity is just noise. Technology with humanity is music. And so having said that, I started to say, how do I build an operating system? We as humans don't look for intelligence outside. So I looked for infrastructure, which was intelligence. So intelligence as infrastructure. So you see, when we sense, you have electrical signals, which is the data going through your nerves. That's MuleSoft. Your spinal cord is data cloud.
Love that.
Your brain is Tableau processing, and then you put the information out. You get it with Slack to the people who need it. So I needed structure. I had the software. I needed processes, guided workflow on Salesforce. I needed the right people, enablement, everything else we did in Salesforce. They need to make decisions with right information. And finally, the right KPIs, which was all the analytics. So we got on this journey and created an operating system where wall to wall, all the way to AI, already agents on our websites, patient can connect with us, all on Salesforce.
Amazing. Absolutely incredible. And you guys have gotten so good at this that you're starting to help others do it. And you've created your own SI.
Yes.
And you work with mostly healthcare providers, but some other people in the space too. Tell us a little bit about when you do that for them. What are some of the themes when people come to you early on? What are some of the challenges and how do you help them get started?
So, as a doctor, I knew one thing: people come to me with problems. And oftentimes the patient comes to me and says, I think I have this diagnosis. And I go, are you a doctor? They go, no. It's no different here. So I said, tell me your problem. So with doctors, they hate buying software. They hate buying features. It's like buying a car, and so you got to go buy an engine here and a window here, and now somebody's got to put it together. So I've talked to a lot of Salesforce customers. The frustration was having somebody who understands your business. So as a healthcare provider, I'm still actively practicing. I do 5-6 surgeries a day. But this operating system that we've created, we now go to doctors and other groups and even HLS and say, what's your problem? Find that out and then build it on this platform. And beauty of Salesforce is, it'll teach you how to do it. You're great partners. I know all the way up to all your leaders and products. And we find solutions for those people, and they get addicted. We are running several doctor practices now. To Marcus's piece, I added purpose and profitability. You keep your eye on the ball with purpose, and the purpose is to help people lead their best lives. See, success is fulfilling your God-given potential. If you're an eagle, you'll fly. If you're a bird, you'll swim. And you don't need features. So everybody just installs software as features versus we go, what solution do you need? Patients can text us, email us. We call it omni-channel healthcare delivery. So we help them. So everybody here is traveling. How many of you can text your doctor? I actually onboarded a Salesforce executive as a patient last night, right from Slack. You see? So get those kind of solutions. So if you have mice at home, you're not looking for the fanciest mousetrap. You want to get rid of mice. We are that solution provider on the Salesforce ecosystem.
That's amazing. Well, we love it. Thank you so much. I think that was great for everyone here to learn more about it. And we really appreciate you and your partnership over these years.
Thank you.
All right, with that, I'm going to bring Adam back to the stage to help bring us home here.
All right, we covered a lot of ground there, Whitney. We certainly covered a lot of ground. It's been an action-packed 50 minutes, and here we are. What do we need to do on the way out here?
All right. Well, I know a lot of you guys hopefully loved what you saw today and are excited to get started. So go ahead and scan this code. Foundations is the easiest way for you to get started building your data foundation and learning more about everything you saw here today.
For all of you in the room, your partnership means the world to us. I hope this week is an excellent opportunity to evolve the way you're thinking. Your potential is incredible, and we're here to help. So I want to say one last massive thank you on behalf of Whitney and I hope the rest of the week's incredible. We'll see you at Metallica and Benson Boone. And until then, good luck, keep innovating, and thanks for all you do.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming.